Reeves Immigration Law Group now brings you immigration law on your side.
Alright, magandang gabi mga kababayan and happy Valentine's Day. Today is February 14th mga kababayan, commonly celebrated among those who are sharing the delights of the heart, mga puso. But it can also be an occasion mga kababayan to remind your family and your loved ones how much you care for them. If you are an immigrant who has successfully achieved U.S. citizenship or legal permanent status here in the United States, one way of showing your love to your spouse and your loved ones who are not yet here in the United States is to file an immigrant petition for them. Of course, aside from sending them flowers, chocolates, and dedicating love songs here on PHLV Radio. Kaya ngayon, kasama natin si Attorney Flomy Javier Diza to help us answer the question, where is the love? Ano kaya kung sasagutin ni attorney ito? How can a family-based petition keep the music playing and let loved ones be together for Heart's Day, which is today, Valentine's Day? Attorney, welcome po to another immigration law on your side.
Magandang hapon, magandang gabi Kuya Johan, at happy Valentine's na rin. Hindi ko alam na pag ganitong Valentine's pala nagiging poetic po kayo. But yes, babatiin na rin natin ang ating mga viewers and listeners ng Happy Valentine's Day, at sana po may katabi kasama kayo na mag-celebrate. At nabanggit ka ni Kuya Johan kanina na during Valentine's Day hindi lang mga tsokolate at mga gift at love letters, kundi syempre most importantly makapiling sila, di ba? Forever dito sa US at mag-travel, di ba? Anywhere you want if you achieve a lawful permanent resident or a US citizenship with your loved ones, di ba? So this is a reminder sa mga kababayan natin, Kuya Johan, na petitionin na sila dahil marami sa mga kliyente natin na nagkukonsulta, di ba? At mga kakilala, kaibigan na marami tayong kilala dyan na hindi pa inuumpisahan ang mga petition for whatever reason, ano? Either mayroong immigration history siguro yung petitioner or yung beneficiary din. But it's really a good idea, mga kababayan, that you consult with us to determine kung ano yung mga issues at pwede pa ba, di ba? Kahit mahirap, may paraan ba para makasama ninyo ang inyong loved ones dito sa US. So it's really a great topic for tonight, Kuya Johan, dahil discuss natin yung process at saka ano yung benefits for having or petitioning a spouse or loved ones in the United States.
All right, so let's get right on to it. Attorney, bago matunaw ang tsokolate natin yung gabi, alamin na natin, Attorney, walk us through this family-based immigration petition. Walk us through that. I know we've talked about this in some of our past episodes, pero let's give them a refresher, Attorney.
Yes, ang family-based immigration petition ay can be what do you call this, divided into two parts, yung immediate relative and yung preference category. Yung immediate relative, Kuya Johan, hindi ibig sabihin porket anak ka, di ba, or anak ka ng US citizen or lawful permanent resident is considered as immediate relative ka na. So ang definition under Immigration and Nationality Act, immediate relative are those petitions where the visa is always available. So tatlong klase yan, right? Yung spouse ka ng US citizen, right? Or ang anak ka ng US citizen. At pangatlo ay kung kayo po ay minor at parents po ninyo ay US citizen. So yun yung tatlong qualification ng immediate relative where the visa is always available. So pag nandito po ang beneficiary sa United States, pwede pong pwede pong pagsabayin ang inyong petition, ang inyong green card, work authorization, and advance parole at the same time dahil the visa is always available. Now, yung ibang classification, second category, Kuya Johan, ng family-based ay yung preference. Preference category na pinagdaanan na rin natin to at pinag-aralan ang visa bulletin, di ba? Nakikita natin yung F1, ibig sabihin niya kayo po ay US citizen at pinipetition ninyo ang inyong anak na over 21. As of now, ang processing time ay around 2012 or something, right? It's more than, or 2013. So titignan natin yung visa bulletin. So mayroong waiting time when it comes to the availability ng visa. Now, yung F2A, F2A kung kayo po ay asawa ng lawful permanent resident or kayo po ay anak na minor de edad ng lawful permanent resident. So itong mga to, kahit asawa po kayo or kayo ay minor na anak ng lawful permanent resident, hindi po kayo immediate relative at hindi po immediately available ang visa under the definition ng US ng Immigration and Nationality Act. At ngayon nag-retrogress po 'yan at ang pinaprocess ngayon ay around 2020, I think 2020. So you could just imagine the difference na where for the last 5 years ang F2A ay always current, ngayon merong retrogression. So tinitingnan ninyo, may mga client tayo na ngayon lang final tapos bigla na lang naabutan ng retrogression. So the key here is, ang advice natin is the moment you're eligible to file for your family member, no? I-file ka agad kasi hindi natin alam kung may retrogression, may delay, may may lockdown, may COVID, mag-iba ang administration, mag-iba ang policy. So it's really hard to tell. So what I advise client is to file now, and regardless of the circumstances in the future, kagaya na banggit natin kanina, nandyan na kayo, di ba? Nakapila na po kayo. So yun yung mga category po, at pwede rin ang F3 dyan, right? Yung mga married children, F2B, yung mga over 21 na pero lawful permanent resident ang tawag nito, ang petitioner. Now, yung ibang category dyan is yung sibling petition, pwede rin, but it will take around 20 years. So ito yung process, ito yung mga classifications ng family-based immigration. So these are the ways that you can bring your spouse, right? Your children, your parents, or your siblings. Ito yung mga mahal natin sa buhay at gusto natin sila makapiling, hindi lang during Valentine's Day, kundi habang buhay na nasa US or saan man kayo tumira after you obtain your naturalization. Now, mga kababayan, take note na hindi lang spouse or children or parents ang pwedeng magpetisyon, di ba? So kung mayroon kayong girlfriend or boyfriend, whether on the opposite sex or the same sex, as long as you are a US citizen and you have met in person for within the last 2 years, right? And there's a bona fide intention to marry, pwede rin kayo mag-file ng K1 fiancé. So, yung mga gusto po ninyong pakasalan at makapiling dito sa US at meron kayong, may mga konting hindrance but hindi kayo pwede magpakasal sa Pilipinas, right? Just because hindi pa na-annul yung marriage, right? At dati kayong Filipino and then hindi nire-recognize ang divorce ninyo sa US at gusto niyo silang dalhin dito, di ba? So, the other way is a fiancé, which is a bit faster than the spouse petition, right? But also, there are 2 steps bago makakuha ang green card. So, that's also one way of bringing your your loved ones, your partner or fiancé in the United States.
All right. Attorney, sa tagal kasi nitong usually pag sinabing especially pag family-based, no? Siguro mas mabilis yung fiancé. Pero kung itong family-based, nabanggit nyo nga kanina, 2012 most likely, 2013 ang pinaprocess. So mahaba ang kanilang hihintayin. May mga tanong dito, Attorney. One of the questions that been sent to us here is it easier to do an adjustment of your spouse's status if they're already here in the United States, or mas mahaba ba ang proseso if they are outside of the United States via consular processing? Ano po ang difference itong dalawa?
That's really a good question, Kuya Johan, because we have many clients who have a tourist visa, di ba? And they stayed in the US and they decided to to just adjust status kasi they have a tourist visa or an employment visa. They're here in the US and nag-asawa or yung kanilang anak turned 21 and they are US citizen, or yung anak nila ay naging US citizen. Now, keep in mind, mga kababayan, this is what we call immigrant intent, right? So, we try to avoid that kasi if immigration find out that, you have the intent to immigrate to the US using your tourist visa, then they can charge you of that immigrant intent, and that could be tantamount to immigration fraud, right? Although very lax ang immigration when it comes to that, and there are always policy changes when it comes to immigrant intent. Just keep note of those rules where you cannot adjust, you cannot get married within 30 days or even 60 days from your last entry into the US. But if you are here already and it's an afterthought na let's say nagbabakasyon po kayo and then after 2 months you decided, I mean, maganda pala mag-invest dito, maganda palang tumira dito, right? Magkakaapo na pala ako, so why can't I just stay here? So you have a US citizen, child or son or daughter anyway. So that could lead to an adjustment of status. So in that situation po pwede po yun. And to answer your question, Kuya Johan, it's much faster ang adjustment of status because number one, you're already in the US. Number two, you can get a work authorization and take note mga kababayan, ang work permit ngayon valid for 5 years, right? And advance parole, meaning that once your adjustment has been filed and pending and wala pa yung actual green card ninyo and you decided na gusto mo nang umuwi, di ba? Pwede rin yun once you get the advance parole. Now, ang processing time, I have seen clients where they get their green card like 3 months. That's the fastest na nakita natin recently. Right? From filing, 3 buwan lang, Kuya Johan, may green card na.
Wow.
Right? Walang interview and that's spousal petition. Now, I'm not saying na baka naman lahat dumugin tayo ng client na i-quote pa tayo baka si Attorney Diza 3 months lang. Ay ako, 1 buwan na, isang taon na, wala pa. So it's a case-by-case basis. Those are kumbaga, those are the exception rather than the rule. Ngayon, ang processing time is normal mga 6 months to a year pa rin. Di ba? Bago issue ang inyong green card. But as I said, we have many clients who have received their green card less than 6 months. And who knows, magbago ulit ito after the election, kung sino man ang Pangulo natin or kung mababago ang immigration. So, yun ang advantage ng adjustment of status. You are here, you're living with your petitioner, kung sino man yan, anak, asawa, magulang, you're able to get a work permit and able to work, right, and travel, and it's a lot faster. Ang problema natin sa consular processing, it's really frustrating, Kuya Johan, despite our advocacy, right, and our insistence of making follow-up, right, every now and then, every 3 months na, documentarily qualified na ako, 2 years na, 3 years na, wala pa. So those are beyond our control kasi hindi natin kontrolado ang ang flow ng interviews sa embassy, right? So it at their hands, wala tayong magagawa kundi making sure na we receive the emails or notices and make follow-ups kasi kahit sabihin natin na ang tagal-tagal na yan, ano nangyayari? Just because remember mga kababayan, I always remind our clients na look, there was a time na may COVID tayo, di ba? Ilang taon yun na mabagal ang interviews kung meron man pailan-ilan lang, right? So yung capacity pre-COVID is let's say 100%, tapos during COVID is only like 10%. So yung 90% na yun naipon for 2 to 3 years. Plus during President Time's time na nagkaroon ng COVID, he suspended the entry of immigrants into the US. Kasama dyan lahat ng mga preference categories na 1 year yon until sa time na nagkaroon ng lawsuit and na-lift yung suspension na yun, I think during Biden's time na 1 taon din yun, ang daming, ang daming na-delay, ang daming naghihintay. So yung mga yun pa lang ang mga ini-interviews, yung kayo na documentarily qualified after COVID, naghintay pa rin ng interviews. So just be patient, consult with a lawyer if there's a reason for you to expedite the case. And normally ang expedited request would be kung may serious medical condition ang inyong petitioner. So yun ang advice natin sa mga kababayan natin, right? Kung merong dahilan para expedite dahil sa totoo lang mahirap talaga, matagal at mabagal at may backlog ang US Embassy. So those are the differences between consular processing and adjustment of status.
Attorney, speaking of backlogs and obstacles, alam mo, Attorney, kahit Valentine's Day kasi ngayon, Attorney, kahit sa pag-ibig ay palaging may hadlang. Kahit sa mga movies, there would always be obstacles to overcome for you to be able to achieve love. Ito naman, if you wanted to achieve your immigration objectives, sometimes merong mga hadlang, Attorney. Say for example, inadmissible yung iyong loved ones or merong certain record, may criminal record or anything na pwedeng humadlang sa kanyang pagdating dito sa Amerika. Paano po, Attorney, ma-overcome itong mga obstacles na ito and para ma-reunite ang mga sing-irog na ito, Attorney?
Yeah, magandang tanong yan, Kuya Johan. At despite the years that pass, now marami tayong client na they still want, to be with yung original spouse, or you've been in the America for 20, 30 years at they still want to bring their spouse. Siyempre yung iba, despite because of the distance, nagkakaroon ng, alam mo na, ng irreconcilable differences, hindi pagkakaunawa, naghihiwalay. Right, but I have seen many clients where they stick to their spouse and loved ones, as you mentioned kanina, despite the obstacle. A good situation, a good example dyan is yung pumasok ka dito as single, yung pala may asawa ka at 5 anak. You know, in the 1990s, it's really easy to say that you are single, right? By just your declaration, embassy would believe you, right? Na single ka. But doesn't work right now kasi they require you to provide a CENOMAR, yung certificate of no marriage, right? And the embassy has the authority to look, by themselves kung mayroon kayong marriage sa PSA, yung Philippine Statistics Authority. So that's one of the situation na kita natin. So pwede mag-apply ng waiver, right? Ng 237A1H waiver para ma-cure yung defective green card po ninyo, right? So in that situation, yung client natin who, the what do you call this strength to reach out and consult an immigration attorney after 20 years of stay in the US, at sabi niya, na-miss ko na ang pamilya ko, malapit na akong mag-retire, anong gagawin natin, right? Sabi ko, if you came to me earlier, right, nandito na sanang pamilya mo, lahat ng anak mo, kasi nag-age out na sila, karamihan ng mga anak na nag-age out na, but of course, it's not too late kasi meron pa siyang anak na minor din. So, we are able to get him a waiver under 237A1H waiver, Immigration Court, and was able to get a pardon from immigration judge, and now he's a US citizen, and pinaprocess na namin, Kuya Johan, yung sa asawa at kanyang mga anak na minor de edad. At siyempre pinapetition ko na rin sa kanya long time ago yung mga over 21, sabi ko in hope of na maayos yung green card mo, which we did. So tuloy-tuloy yung petition, like available na siya ngayon kasi we filed this in around 2010. So those are the obstacles. Or halimbawa, Kuya Johan, meron po kayong misrepresentation or fraud, right, or criminal records where immigration would say, hey, you're inadmissible, you can't enter the US without a qualifying relative. At dito pumapasok ulit ang loved ones, ang inyong asawa, US citizen or lawful permanent resident na asawa, para, you have to establish na ang inyong asawa would suffer extreme hardship kung hindi po kayo papayagan na pumasok dito sa US. So yan yung mga inadmissibility grounds na pwedeng gawan ng paraan kung kayo po ay may asawa, right? Or mayroong fiancé, pwede rin mag-waiver ang fiancé, or meron kayong magulang na US citizen or lawful permanent resident who would suffer extreme hardship when you're not allowed to enter the United States.
At one point, Attorney, napag-usapan natin yung VAWA, yung Violence Against Women Act. Is this something that our kababayans can use as some form of a waiver or a way for them to be able to petition their loved ones?
Yes, Kuya Johan. So the good thing about the Violence Against Women Act, VAWA, does not only apply for women. Diba? Kasi it's violence against women. It also applies for men. So if you can prove that there was an abuse of your US citizen spouse while living in the US, yun lang difference, Kuya Johan, kasi kapag nasa Pilipinas kayo at even if there was an abuse there ng US citizen spouse ninyo, hindi kayo pwede magbawa. Should be a residence and cohabitation in the US. So once that you get the approval of the Violence Against Women Act and green card, you can also bring your and even despite your inadmissibility grounds, pwedeng i-waive yun because of your status as VAWA victim, or applicant. Now, if your VAWA application is approved, right, and you have children back home, pwede silang mag-benefit, diba? So, as long as they were minor when you file for the VAWA application, right, and even if they're 26 or 30 years old now and they are unmarried, but they were below 21 when the application was filed, they can still benefit under this VAWA. So that's a good thing about this application as well. Now, even if you love ones, mag fast forward tayo from Valentine's Day to All Souls Day, right? So kung namatay ang inyong spouse, right, mayroong tinatawag na I-360. Ito yung self-petition, widow or widower spouse petition. So yun ang kinaganda nito, Kuya Johan, as long as you can prove that the relationship is legitimate and bona fide, right, you can file the I-360 whether you're here in the US or in the Philippines or outside of the United States. You're able to get your immigrant visa under this widow spouse petition. Pwede pa rin yan. But anyway, these are the ways that you're able to get your green card or adjust your status in the US. Kailangan lang po ninyong, i-discuss ang inyong immigration concern para makita natin kung ano ang best solution and best route po ninyo to immigrate or get your green card.
That's right. Kaya mangyari lamang pong kumontak sa ating mga kaibigan from Reeves Immigration Law Group. You can see the telephone number in your screen. That's 415-568-3777. That's the San Francisco number where Attorney Diza is right now. He's coming in via Zoom right now. Ako po ay nanggagaling dito sa Las Vegas, Nevada. Tulad po ng nasabi ni Attorney, probably love is not enough. Kailangang ma-strategize ang inyong mga immigration petitions. Kaya kumonsulta po sa kanilang lahat sa ating mga immigration experts. Attorney, what is your takeaway para sa ating mga kababayan with regards to family reunification, if they desire so much to unify their family again here in the United States? Marami kayong mga nabanggit na iba't ibang paraan katulad ng K-visa or itong family-based. Attorney, anong ang message nyo sa ating mga kababayan, especially those who are still having second thoughts on petitioning their family members despite na available naman or qualified sila, Attorney?
Yes, karamihan sa mga kababayan natin, they're hesitant to file for an immigrant visa for the spouse or the family member is because mayroon silang something na ayaw, malaman ng immigration because they are afraid that this might cause a hindrance or obstacles for them to immigrate, or sila mismo baka maapektuhan ang kanilang immigration status if they are still a local permanent resident or even US citizen. Kasi those are the common problem ng mga kababayan natin why they refuse, right, or they fail to file on time. So it's really good idea to consult with us kasi sasabihin namin sa inyo kung ano yung mga steps that to be taken para ma-avoid yung obstacles na yan and hindrance na yan. We're not going to hide or we're not going to tweak the law, right? I mean, we're going to follow the law. Explain lang natin sa inyo kung paano gagawa ng paraan at paano explain sa immigration because ang immigration naman, Kuya Johan, is a very compassionate law and it's more of family unification. Huwag lang nating i-abuse ang system or, gagawa ng hindi tama, di ba? Kasi if you keep on misrepresenting material facts or lying, may panahon na malalaman at immigration yan. And what I tell clients is if you continue to perpetrate fraud, continue to lie, it's going to be more difficult on your part, to get out from that mess. Now, mga kababayan, just always remember that family is a foundation of our lives, di ba? Yun ang kailangan natin. At syempre, pag nandito sila at maalagaan ang ating magkaroon tayo ng family and establish a family dito sa United States, it's better for ourselves, for our country, and of course, para sa ating pamilya.
All right. So maraming salamat, Attorney, for this information. But before I let you go, alam ko malaki ang mga pagbabago sa immigration. That's why we teased our audience a little bit a while ago that we'll be giving them some updates, Attorney, especially with regards to the fees. A few days ago, mukhang may breaking news na may mga bagong patakaran or bagong schedule of fees sa ating immigration attorney. Would you walk us through, Attorney, with the latest from USCIS?
Yeah, speaking of not filing for your loved ones, mga kababayan, ito siguro aside from being with them or with your family already, right? Keep in mind na beginning April 1 of this year, tataas po ang USCIS filing fees. So hindi lang abogado, professional fees ang nagtataas because of the inflation, but also of the filing fees, right? Dahil malaki may mga 200% increase yung iba. So if you look at the USCIS website, magtataas na yan. For example, let me walk through yung very common natin mga applications, no, yung even naturalization. So I encourage mga kababayan natin, unang-una, right, magkakaroon ng election in November. So anong ibig sabihin noon? Ibig sabihin the USCIS wants you to become a citizen and exercise your right to vote. Right? So mas maraming botante, mas maganda sa demokrasya, right? So yun ang goal ng Homeland Security. So if I were you, kung kayo eligible na, instead of you extending your green card, mag-file na kayo ng naturalization, because we have seen clients where we filed their applications mga 2, 3 months, 4 months, mayroon na silang interview. So unlike during COVID na umabot ng 1, 2 years yan, ngayon, less than 6 months meron na kayong interview. So you still have time, right? Ang election po natin November, so in time for the November, and hopefully, matawag kayo ng interview at you'll take the oath taking the same day, or within the next week. Yung mga offices kagaya ng San Francisco, right, Los Angeles, and other bigger jurisdiction ng USCIS, Kuya Johan, they do the same oath ceremony, right? In Santa Clara, San Jose area, where I went the last week, they give you the notice right away, pero sasabihin sa'yo next week balik ka. The same thing with Phoenix, where I went to again the other week, right? Binigyan din sila ng notice right away that you come back next week and take your oath. So mabilis po ang process for naturalization, at tataas siya ng around $60, right? So that's for the N400. Yung sa petition sa asawa, sa anak, yung I-130, Kuya Johan, ang increase nito is around from $535 US dollars, magiging $820.
Wow, malaki.
So, ang laki, 'di ba? Parang magkano 'yun? Do the math, 26% ang increase mo, 5, 6, 7, 8, almost 300 ang increase po ng petition sa inyong anak. So kung naghintay pa, file it as soon as you can. Now, the same thing with the green card, yung mga pinag-usapan natin kanina na nandito na sila at gusto mag-adjust ng status, right? Consult with a lawyer already, at kung ayaw po niya mag-file, file it now. Kasi ang dati, Kuya Johan, is 1,225, right? Ang coverage niyan is your adjustment of status or green card application. Kasama dyan ang work permit and advance parole. So, ngayon, kapag nag-file ka concurrently with your I-130 adjustment, work permit and advance parole, hiwalay na ang filing fees ng work permit and advance parole. Hindi na na-incorporate dun sa adjustment. So it's going to be, more, hundreds of dollars more just to get the work permit and advance parole. So better, what do you call this? Prepare your documents if you are ready, right? And file before April 1 para hindi po kayo maabutan ng pag-increase. So yun po ang updates ng fee schedule, fee increase ng USCIS. You can always find this at USCIS website at sa aming sa aming website din sa Reeves Immigration Law Group.
And also, attorney, speaking of documents and forms na nabanggit nyo, I believe meron din mga bagong forms na in-implement. Ano po, attorney?
Yes, keep in mind na tignan nyo ang validity ng legal forms ng USCIS forms, right, when you fill out on your own, right? Kasi may mga expiration yan because they also, rolling out yung new forms na may certain validity. So if you failed or you did not use the correct form when you file your applications, this might cause a rejection, di ba? Kaakala mo ano ka na dun sa fee increase, yung pala ni-reject dahil mali forms ang ginamit nyo. So just be careful when you file your applications to make sure that these are current and updated.
All right. Awesome. Kaya mga kaibigan, make sure that you check out the link that we're going to post below on this Facebook feed and also on YouTube and wherever we post this episode. Lalagay natin yung link papunta dun sa fees and forms ng USCIS and also link to the website of Reeves Immigration Law Group. Attorney, wealth of information again today. I'm not going to keep you any longer kasi baka meron pa kayong date ngayong gabi for Valentine's night. Attorney, your message po sa ating mga kababayan.
Maraming salamat ulit, Kuya Johan, at of course sa ating programang Immigration Law on Your Side and of course PHLV Radio. Tangkalikin po natin lahat ng mga gagandang programa ng PHLV Radio at of course, we continue to provide public service dito sa Reeves Immigration Law Group. We have several offices right in the United States. I'm based in San Francisco and Walnut Creek. And by the way, there's already an immigration court that will have around more than 10 judges sa Concord, California, which is the neighboring city ng Walnut Creek, where we have our one offices. So nandyan po ang immigration courts, nag-open sila, right? And we also have an office in Los Angeles, Makati, and China. The good thing about our Makati staff is they assist you in following up your case. Yung sinasabi natin kanina na despite the backlog sa embassy, we continue to follow up just to make sure na hindi nawawala sa direction ng ating cases, right? Lalong-lalo na may mga issues like, mag-age out ang inyong anak. So, nandyan po sila to assist you with your immigration concerns. And again, sa ating mga viewers and listeners, please continue to watch and listen Immigration Law on Your Side and lahat po ng programa ng PHLV Radio and share them to your newsfeed. Maraming salamat at magandang hapon, magandang gabi. Happy Valentine's to all.
Happy Valentine's sa inyong lahat dyan po sa San Francisco, California. Although your hearts are a little heartbroken right now, attorney, dahil
yes.
sa Niners ay medyo naungusan ng ating mga taga-Kansas City Chiefs.
Akala ko manood na tayo ng parade, di ba? So, but there's always next time. You're right, you're heartbroken when it comes to that. But it's a sports game, Kuya Johan. There's always a winner and a loser. This time we lost, but hopefully next time we're gonna win.
That's right. Okay. Maraming salamat, Attorney Diza, at lahat po ng mga bumubuo ng Reeves Immigration Law Group dyan po sa San Francisco, California, at sa lahat po ng mga offices ng Reeves Immigration Law Group. Maraming salamat po. Ito po si Kuya Yo. Galing po dito sa Las Vegas, Nevada. Ito po ang PHLV Radio, your one and only Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. We will see you next time.
Reeves Immigration Law Group has been representing immigrants for nearly 40 years. Reeves Immigration Law Group has been fighting for its clients through experience and expertise. With immigration lawyers you can access at reasonable fees, even on Saturday. Payment plans are also available. Call us for your immigration solutions. We can do worldwide telephone and Skype consultations. Reeves Immigration Law Group, 1-800-795-8009. Reeves Immigration Law Group has offices in Los Angeles, San Francisco, China, and Philippines. See us at www.rreeves.com. Reeves Immigration Law Group, 1-800-795-8009.
Reeves Immigration Law Group has just brought you Immigration Law on Your Side. Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Pacific on PHLV Radio.